Okay, so I figured out how to switch tabs that I'm recording on. So this was the PowerPoint that I created for Atomic Structure and Periodic Table Introduction, Part 1 or Topic 1. And if you guys read through that, which I hope you did, so this kind of goes down into the electrons and where they hang out, generally where they can be found, which I made the coronavirus equivalent or reference. So there's a place, a house that that us humans can generally be found in, but does that mean we're always there? No. So it's kind of hard to predict where someone is at any given time or where an electron is at any given time. We don't really have a way of being like, texting an electron, yo, what up? Where you at? So we kind of just have to be like, this is generally where they are. This is based on physics, lots of research, quantum mechanics research, lots of physics and chemistry involved in that, way, way beyond my scope of education. But generally, they have discovered that these are generally the areas that electrons hang out in. And we give those shapes, we give those areas names, and there's different types of areas depending on what we kind of showed in that video about the little game on the Colorado website the atom builder. So what I kind of said is that like inner circle is the helium amount of electrons. So when there's two in that inner circle, that's a helium setup. And once it gets outside of that, I kind of said that like there's a different anatomical structure to an atom that gets on beyond that. But so those are kind of the houses that they're generally found in. And if we go into this other tab, we can kind of see some fun things, shapes. So the houses that they generally hang out in. Let me open up that. Okay. So let me open this up again so I can kind of say what I'm talking about. So it kind of puts these electrons in these minimum like orbitals and things, which orbitals are the general houses where things hang out. There's lots of different houses, rooms in the house. I don't know, it gets a little beyond that scope of that metaphor. But so there's a basic place where the lowest level of electrons, the ones that are closest to the nucleus, hang out. And every level, the more electrons you add onto an atom, the further they are from the nucleus. So the further out, it gets wider and wider and bigger and bigger. So as you get further down the periodic table, you get down to these ones and stuff. This is in like tungsten, W, which makes no sense. The nucleus is all in the center still. It's very, very concentrated. It's a very dense piece in the nucleus, this area right here. But electrons are in these clouds that get bigger and bigger. And if you get down into tungsten, there are so many rings around this atom. So you can kind of see, I'm jumping around a little bit. So you can kind of see, so the most basic, recording. There we go. Okay. So the most basic, the lowest level, that helium, that one with two, is this. So it's shaped like a circle, and this would be the house where those first two electrons hang out. Nucleus is in the middle, and this kind of shows you what it looks like, X, Y axis and Z axis, just the different planes that they exist in. Usually you see the like axis is the flat one, and the y-axis is the vertical one, and then the z-axis is the one coming out at you. So kind of tell you that this shape is a sphere around the nucleus. So as you build on more electrons, those shapes out from the nucleus are the areas where those electrons generally hang out. It gets really complicated as they get more advanced. Like this is a p orbital, this is an s orbital, certain filling diagrams, but we'll get into that later. This is just kind of like there's a house, there's an area, we refer to it as a cloud, there's these different shapes. It gets bigger as you add electrons on. General thing you need to know.